So this is the second of 3 videos about rational exponents from a chapter on exponents and polynomials. This video would pertain to a second example for rational exponents. So again, before we begin the actual 2 examples of simplifying 216 to the 2/3 and 32 to the 4/5, the first thing that you need to understand is what b to the m divided by n is equal to. So it says a number raised to the power of m divided by n is equal to the nth root of that number raised to the nth power. Okay, well, a more simplified way of looking at it is b to the m divided by n is equal to the nth root of b and then the whole thing to the m. Okay, so in other words, the numerator of our fractional exponent is just the same thing as a regular exponent. It's the division of the n that's turning it into also partially a radical. Something to be aware of, even though you normally or almost always put the exponent on the outside, you can actually put the exponent on the inside and attach it to the number first. It just depends on what kind of numbers you're working with, because the last thing that you want to do is, for example, with the 216, is to cube it or to square it first and then cube root. Trying to square 216 is going to lead to an extremely large number, and then taking a radical of that would be too difficult, which again is why you will always or almost always use this one first. Okay, so this is like the primary method. So again, we have 216 to the 2/3. That's the same thing as saying the cube root of 216, and then the whole thing is squared. Because again, we're dealing with 2 divided by 3, where the denominator becomes the index, and then the numerator is just a basic exponent. Okay? So simplify this. The cube root of 216 is 6. And then you're going to take 6 and square it and get 36. So example 2 is 32 to the 4/5, and again we have 4 divided by 5. The 5 becomes the index, while the 4 stays the exponent. So that gives you the 5th root of 32, and then you're going to turn around and take that to the 4th. The 5th root of 32 is 2. 2 to the 4th is 16, and you would be done with that question. Again, the goal is to understand that now our fractions have both a number in the numerator and the denominator. The denominator still represents the index of your radical when you rewrite it, while the numerator stays as your exponent. The 2 u-tris are 16 to the 3/4 and 27 to the 4/3.